Here we go, coming your way on NBA Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase. We're opening up the floor to all of our subscribers, allowing you to ask us questions on literally anything when it comes down to basketball and the NBA, because at the end of the day, this is NBA Now, and we like to chop it up and talk hoops every single day. So without further ado, let's open up that damn floor. We started off with Kurt Morrow. What team do you think that Bronny James goes to? I think the Thunder, since they got like 50 first-round picks. So here's the deal with Bronny James, right? Bronny James right now is like a 4-star recruit. Now, I saw him in transition the other day. He drove left on the open floor, threw it down with his right hand, and Skip Bayless was ripping him, saying, "Oh, why didn't you dunk with your left hand? That's what your pops would have done." Skip, you're a fraud. This is what I'm looking at for Bronny James. He took off between the free throw line and the hoop, and then he nearly came down on the stanchion. He was in the air forever, and he just kept flying. You put it in slow-mo, he's driving left, throws it down with the right, and he's just hanging there. Ah! It was incredible, right? He has great athleticism. The only problem with him, he's 6'4". If he grows to 6'6" and has a growth spurt like his pops did, like AD did, and he could be a problem. But I'm not sure he's a first-round pick right now. So maybe a second-round guy, but because of the name, maybe he sneaks into the first round. Has to improve, though. He's definitely going to be a sought-after recruit. There's no question about that. I hope he goes the college route, because the NIL deals that he can get and the money he can get at the college level as compared to the G League and the sold-out stadiums to watch Bronny James, that would be awesome, at least for us, from an entertainment purpose. Dabbing Noob, are the Suns and the Heat still in the KD talk? I think the Heat, yeah. I don't think the Suns, because I think if you're the Nets, you want to get back DeAndre Ayton. He can't be traded until December or January because he just signed that contract. So you can't get DeAndre Ayton. So maybe you trade DeAndre Ayton at the trade deadline. That's the only way it could happen. For the Heat, a little bit of a roadblock there. Because of the rookie clause in the NBA, you can't have two players on one roster who signed rookie max contracts. Okay? So Ben Simmons did, and so too did Bam Adebayo. They can't be on the same team. It's a ludicrous rule in my opinion, because I just want to see the best players team up and play with one another, but that's the latest on the Suns and the Heat. If you haven't subscribed, you ain't alive. Hit that red sub button down below for the best NBA, NFL, college football content. If you want entertaining and informative analysis on the NFL, NBA, and college football, we are your home for the best sports coverage on digital platforms. YouTube.com/chatsportstv, or even easier, just hit that red sub button right now. Sports. Can you see Westbrook being in a midseason trade with the Jazz or the Pacers? I think ideally for Los Angeles, they'd love to trade away Russell Westbrook because he's an aging player who doesn't really fit on the team. So in terms of roster or basketball stylistically, right? Russell Westbrook, he's a maddening player. Doesn't have a good feel for the game. Doesn't play his best basketball late or in the playoffs because of the lack of feel for the game. As a guy, if you just want to offload that salary, Utah and Indiana do work well. And then for the Lakers, maybe a couple of pieces that you could get back in one of those trades. Timberwolf Taylor, who do you see as breakout players from each position? This is a good question. I mean, we got to look at the rookies from 2 years ago. I think that Cade Cunningham's going to be better. I think Jalen Green's going to take a big step. I think Scotty Barnes is as well. Evan Mobley too. I think that last year's draft class could be one of the best that we've seen in recent memory since the turn of the century, and I don't think that's a crazy statement. I think that Jalen Suggs could greatly improve. He could be a breakout player. Could Tyrese Maxey average 25 points per game? Yeah. Could Jordan Poole take yet another step? I think so. So those are some players that I'm thinking about. Let me give you a center here who could really take a sizable jump. A young center, Alperen Şengün of the Houston Rockets. I really like his game. GemFam TV Vlog, Jalen Green, Jordan Clarkson, and Kai Sotto for the Gilas Filipinas, where the Filipino ballers are from. They can make that noise. I will tell you this. If the Philippines were to compete in the Olympics, they'd actually be a pretty decent team. Jalen Green, Jordan Clarkson, and Kai Sotto. You get a great scoring win in Green. You get another really good scorer in Jordan Clarkson and a solid big internationally in Kai Sotto. You do not play a lot of defense, but maybe you can get by with the allowing of more physical play in some of these international games. Who's your favorite rookie of the 2022 NBA draft class? Good job by producer Jack for cooking this up because I just mentioned several rookies. Let us know rookies that you're pumped up about right now in the comment section. By the way, a reminder, we are on Rumble as well as we continue to grow to the platforms that you use. This is the digital leader for the best sports coverage on the entire internet. Informative, interactive, educational analysis, free and uncensored content over on Rumble. That's an added advantage. Sports news, politics, tech, and business. And I can let some curse words fly on Rumble if I want to. Rumble.com/NBA now. Make sure you follow us. Unlimited range. I love that name. He must have unlimited range when he's hooping. If the Knicks get Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish, Quentin Grimes, and Obi Toppin for Donovan Mitchell, are they a playoff team? If the Heat get Mitchell for Hero Robinson and 2 to 3 picks, are they better than the 76ers or the Celtics? I don't think better than the Celtics. Maybe better than the Sixers, but I think both are about 50-win teams. So I think that's where the Heat would be with Philadelphia and Boston. Mitchell on that team just allows him to go off offensively, which I think he would love because he doesn't put a bunch of effort toward defense. He's capable with that crazy long wingspan, but defensively, just not a great defensive player. As for the Knicks, let's see. You get to hold on to R.J. Barrett. You lose Reddish and Fournier. That's fine. Quentin Grimes could have a Desmond Bane jump this upcoming year, so that hurts because I like his future. Obi Toppin would certainly hurt as well, but you did bring back Mitch Robb and Isaiah Hartenstein. Are they a playoff team? I think they're definitely a playoff team. D-Mitch, Jalen Brunson, and R.J. Barrett, they'd be a feisty playoff team at that. Evan Hinders, Lonzo Ball will be the comeback player of the year. I don't hate that. I think that it might go to a guy who suffered a season-long injury. Yes, Lonzo Ball was out for the bulk of the 2021-2022 campaign, but he'll be in there if he can come back, right? There's some legitimate concerns about Lonzo Ball's knee. I hope he's all right because I don't think we've seen the best of Lonzo as an NBA player. I think his fit on that team caters to his strengths, very good vision and size and passing ability. So a couple of you have asked me some really good questions on the program today. I want to ask you a good question. All too early pick to win NBA MVP. I'm going Luka Doncic or Jason Tatum. Who are you going with? Let me know in the comment section. Joel Santos. Who is a sleeper team to sneak into the playoffs? Portland Trailblazers. I think the Pelicans, while they were in the playoffs last year, could jump the standings. Can the Hornets finally break through? The hiring of Steve Clifford was so boring to me. I don't think a young team is ready like the Rockets, Magic, Pistons, or a Thunder. I don't think the Pacers are going to be that good. If there's a crazy team that makes a huge jump to a play-in opportunity, maybe it's the Sacramento Kings. I don't hate that roster. So those are a couple of teams right there, Joel. Appreciate that. I see you rocking a Knicks hat as well. Hopefully you're subscribed to New York Knicks Now with my boy Marshall Green. Thomas Schmitz, next up. Who's on deck? We'll let you know coming up. What if Bronny goes to the Cavs and takes the career that his dad took, or will he take a different path? It all comes down to if he's draftable, which team drafts him. I don't think he's going to be the player of LeBron James, so his career path is going to be much different as compared to his pops. He's a little bit undersized right now. Right now, he's really just a scoring guard and a smaller guard at 6'4". And he's going to have to prove when the competition gets greater that he can hit shots consistently. He's not going to be able to fully rely on his athleticism. So if he goes to the Cavs, obviously, Thomas, that would be an unbelievable story. Dab Noob, last question in this sack. Imagine this. Kyrie Irving goes to the Lakers. KD goes to Boston, and they meet in the NBA Finals. That would be incredible. Because of Boston not winning the NBA championship, they are both tied, by the way, for the most NBA championships in the history of the NBA, 17 apiece. So for them to land those players and Kyrie and KD after their divorce and then both going to the two most iconic brands in NBA history, trying to get that sought-after 18th championship. Pretty good storylines. And because it's LA and Boston, NBA ratings would come back. Are you a real one? Let me know right now in the comments section. If you're subscribed and you have swagger and you support us and you're about that grind and hustle mode, then you're a real one. So if you are and you classify as such, type real one right now.